Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, the USO, the UUP, and the GLD. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So guys, what a week on Wall Street. From futures being down 800, from 3 days of rallying, couple pullbacks, NASDAQ coming in. I don't even know where to begin. Let's put it that way. So let's see here. Let's take that pivot. Where's that pivot? Hold on. This is the one that we want here. So this was the trend line we've been watching. That's where we got the bounce. It was into some support, 200 moving average. I thought for sure we'd go a little bit lower. I was looking at this pivot, and as well as we go on the weekly, you have the 50 MA down in here as well. I was hoping at least down in there, then a possible bounce. Bounced up without us, but going back to the daily chart on the SPY, we almost filled the gap up here. We were watching this area right around, roughly 218.59. Didn't make it, but if you connect the highs up here with this, oops, we don't want that. We want this. Connect the highs here, and that's pretty much where we went into yesterday. Pulled back from there. Let's go ahead and put a retrace from the top to this pivot low. Let's see. So that's going to be our new Fibonacci area right here. So when we go down, but we did get above the 750 retrace. We got above the gap window here. Never closed above. We did hit that trend line, came right back in. So now we're looking for a bullish setup to possibly go higher. If this bullish pattern starts to fade, then we're looking for a close below these moving averages and then to possibly lower prices. As long as we stay above these moving averages, everything should be fine. Well, maybe. We had some pretty good volume, which had disappeared, so that's telling me that we could possibly just float through the holidays, kind of like what we did here, guys. They pushed it all the way up and just kept it going all the way until the news with the December rate decision, because she might do it in December, but if she does, we might get the same effect of last January. So if you have puts in these markets, just be really, really careful, especially on the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, because at this point we could just go sideways like we have been. Daily chart, or the weekly chart, again, we were in this inside bar pattern. We started coming in. We came into the support. Like I said, I thought we'd go to the 50. We didn't make it there. They saved the day, brought it right back up. Again, right into this area. But on the weekly chart, we did close above the moving average, the 20 MA. So now we're in a slightly stronger position. Let's wait for pattern, see what happens, or if this is just a head fake to bring it down to the next area. Next week will be a pivotal week, or we just float into the Thanksgiving holiday and then the Christmas rally, blah, 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 with no volume. But again, we had really good volume this week on all the major indexes. We'll see what happens come on Monday. Let's go to the IWM. Now remember, the IWM, this is one that's been the lagger. Now it's the leader. I've seen this crap before with this one, and all of a sudden it starts going. Everyone gets excited, but we did fill a gap up in here at 127.55 today. And let's see here. And we also have the double top here at 229.10. Remember, this is the only one that really hasn't pierced the all-time high. Maybe they're going for it. Maybe we go for the 130 area. We'll have to watch this one close and see what happens. Man, you know what? This is my area, 114.17, 200 MA. Just didn't make it there. A lot of technicians trying to buy down here. So instead of hitting that and then bouncing, they just pushed it up without everybody. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days straight up on volume. This could possibly be a blow off top here. We're going to have to see on Monday. Or like I said, do we go into the holiday where it just does nothing like this, where it just kind of floats up, pulls back, floats up, pulls back, and then possibly pulling down to January. We'll know more in the nenext couple of weeks. So right now, at this point, we did add a short on the IWM up here and as a swing trade, and we're going to stick with that trade, 122.55, right around there. I don't know the exact price, but a gap fill, that's what we did today. Weekly chart, same thing. There's really no rhyme or reason. This is just insane. So we're above this pivot high. We did fill the gap. Next week, I want to see a close above this or a close above the all-time high with volume like this, and then I'll let this step aside on some of these trades possibly and say, you know what, we gave it a shot. But a lot of the shorts this week we've been covering. Stocks have been moving up. We've been adding short. And just make sure you have the right position size in these markets, guys, because at this point, there's really no rhyme or reason on what's going on with the markets. Other than I think a lot of people got stuck short down here on the Trump news, and just putting on the risk, on the bet that he's going to win and the whole markets are going to tank, and they got taken to the house. That's the other thing. And I think everybody went heavy short. The hedge funds, the retail traders, and I was telling my guys, just let's see if it could go up. If it goes up, we're going to add. If it goes down, we're already short. Kind of play it like that. So the Qs. Now the Qs though, that's the only one that really, we got a little bit of a rally, but man, it pulled right back in, and here we are chopping around an inside bar. So this was leading the way up. Made a new high here, fell down, popped up, retraced to the 750, came right back in, held the 618. Now we're holding on for dear life. Let's see if we get a retrace back into this area. And if you're not short this one, you can short it up in this 118. Even if you want to short here, short it at gap fill, short it, just keep shorting it as it goes up. If you're doing 1,000 shares, 200 here, 200 here, 200 here, slow and steady, guys. At least if you have a couple hundred shares, 500 shares, it drops, $6-7. That's not a bad trade. Well, at least for me. I'll take $3 here, $1 there, $5 here, all that good stuff. So, but yeah, so this one is pretty ugly reversal on this day. They tried saving it and popping it up, but yeah, this action, guys, I can't even really comment, to be honest with you, because it's just irrational market action. That's why I think we're making a top when all these are flying. They're going down. You got tech getting bashed. You got everyone going into the bank stocks, which are high flyers still. You're buying stocks at all-time highs where you were just in stocks at all-time highs. We're going to know more next week. Like I told everybody, let the market settle in, and then we'll go from there. But weekly, closed above the 50 or the 20 MA. We're still above here. Technically, it's still strong, but just some crazy action in this, so we got to keep an eye on this one too. Let's go to the Dow or the DIA. This one making all-time highs. We were talking about the 190 area when it was down in here. We had a nice bearish inside bar, but now we got above here. We got above the high. I want to see confirmation on the weekly on this one. This is a pretty strong stance, but I've seen it before where we pop up, make all-time highs. CNBC hypes the shit out of it. Excuse my language. And let's go to the daily. And next thing you know, we're pounding down. So we had good volume. I'm still thinking they blasted it through, getting CNBC to cheer until we close above this one and confirm on a weekly basis. I still don't believe these markets are going higher. This is just a bunch of crap. I think everyone got caught with their pants down here on shorts, being, betting on the Trump win, and the market's tanking, and they got taken to the house. Weekly, like I said, we're still above this area here. We were in an inside bar. Like I said, I want to see some follow through on volume like that, and then possibly we go a little bit higher on this chart. The IYT though, the lagger like the IWM, the lagger like the IYT, they're starting to rip. It's insane. So I had the area around 151, 152. We got to 154.51. We did add more short on this one as a swing trade. I still don't believe it, guys. I'm sorry. This thing keeps moving up. We're actually into the, let me make sure that's correct. Wait a second. Let's go back to the weekly. Yeah, so we're into the 750 retrace from this high pivot to that high pivot, and a lot of times we'll overshoot this. But remember, guys, on the weekly, I was telling you, this is a great bullish pattern that could possibly set up. I did not take it because at highs, sometimes these patterns fail, and if they fail, they go down. But like I said, I want to see this thing pop, and I want to see some follow-through. I have a feeling we're going to go click and then straight back down. But hey, if we go straight back up, we're going to be looking at these areas here. If you're along this one, you're looking at the 159.87, and then you're looking at these pivots up here anywhere, 165 to 167 or so. So I want to see this thing continue going. It might, but I'm still not a believer. I'm sorry, guys. I just look at the SPY. I look where we're at on the charts, and we're way overdone. We're almost 8 years in a bull run. We're going up on hopes and dreams. We have the IWM flying, the Qs coming in, the Dow making new all-time highs. The SPY isn't. It's just everything getting really irrational. You got tech getting clobbered. You got the banks moving up. You got the IBB shooting up 30 bucks or 20 bucks. Something's up here, guys. Just be careful, because we could wake up one of these days to just a clobber job and everything's tanking, period. And that's what I look for, guys. Moving up, you're going to grind up, but when you wake up and you get a good sell, there's nothing worse than that being stuck in a long. So kind of like they did in the last 2 days, being short. But you know what? As this thing was coming down the SPY, we were covering our shorts, so we're okay. A couple positions went upside down on us, but not a big deal. But again, IYT, or the transport, still lagging. Let's see here, USO. USO, though, that trade worked out great, guys. This was another one, hyping it up. Oil's going to 70. Saudi Arabia is agreeing. Iraq's getting on board. Putin's helping us, going lower. I still think we're going to 923 in this area here. We did take off the SCO trade today. I'm done. I want to take profits, because we do have a couple losers on the table. So as long as I'm taking profits and winners off the table, these couple losers aren't going to be a big deal. So 923, I still think we might go to 816 and then double bottom here and then possibly lower. We're going to have to see how this chart sets up. But right now, this is bearish. We broke this low and right into gap fill today. So hard to say. I still think we're going to go a little lower. But let's see what happens next week on this one. Weekly chart, same thing. We got above the moving averages. Everyone was getting on the bull wagon and never confirmed, rolled over right back into this bottom. Let's see if we get to this trend line. And if we get through this trend line and start tapping to 922, we're going to go to 9, and then so on and so forth, probably 8, and then see if we go lower. But again, there's really no chart setup other than a nice pullback. I want to see some bearish consolidation for the next setup down, or do we retrace, get above the 50 MA, and then start heading up into the 1240, this area, 12 bucks, 12 or 12.45. So you got to keep an eye on that. But right now, we had a great pullback. We are still a quarter position short on the USO, and if it rides down to 9, we will cover the rest of that one and wait for the time for the bounce to possibly buy oil long. Let's go the UUP. Oops, wrong one. Not the AAP, the UUP. Come on now. All right, the UUP again, straight up, straight down, now straight back up. So this one, the central bankers, I believe in here, kind of manipulating the dollar, try to feel everything out. They did go straight up. We hit resistance. They pulled it back. Man, I wish it would have came down in here. I'll show you on the weekly. Popped right back up. I still believe we're going, if we could get through this trend line, first gap fill here right around 25.85, and then we're going to 26.13. That goes up. Oil should go down and gold should go down, and the market should follow suit as well. Weekly chart, UUP, same thing. We're an inside bar, or starting to down here, popped it right up. They closed above the red bar and almost closed above that pivot. Again, we're right to this trend line. Let's see if we can get above that next week and close. If we do, then I think we are going to the 26.12 area. But this is still slightly bullish consolidation. We're above the MAs on the weekly. I would have loved to have filled the gap right into here. Then I would have probably added more long. We are long on the dollar, so I do want it to go higher. But and that will help my short positions as well. And then the GLD. And good. I thought we missed the boat on this one, guys. To be honest with you, I did my videos and I was like, guys, you know what? It looks like it might be going up. We did talk about this tail. If we get above there, it'll probably go, and boom, right back down. Our first area, we've been talking for weeks, 115.71, gap fill, almost there, 115 even number, and then ultimately 112.40. Let's see if we can get down in this area, 110, all this. I mean, I don't know. I hope it doesn't. I mean, I do hope it goes lower, but it gets right around 110, 109. This is an area that we're going to possibly go long on gold. Starting to add maybe around 112, then 110, maybe at 115. I want to see how this thing falls into it. But this is telling me when you got an inside bar and it pulls back, goes up, retraces to the top of this and starts to fall, I think we could get down in here, guys. But, one step at a time. Let's see where we close next week. If we close in this area here in the following week or on next Friday, then I think we could get lower prices. So let's go slow and steady with this. We've been calling it pretty good in the last couple ones. Like I said, I thought it was going to run without us, and bam, right back down. So good thing we didn't chase up here. Let it come in. Let's see if we could get lower prices on this. All right, guys, thanks for watching my videos. Have a great weekend. If you have any questions or comments, email me at stockbookie@gmail.com. Thanks again, guys. God bless. See you on the charts.